Vie de Void, how to turn emptiness into strength and growth. When life feels like a whisper fading into silence, when the days blur into numbness and even hope feels heavy, you're not broken, you're human. In a world obsessed with constant doing and curated happiness, the quiet ache of emptiness often goes unseen. But within that emptiness, what we call the Vie de Void, there lies a hidden doorway. Not an end, but a beginning. This isn't just a philosophical idea, it's a lifeline. Together, let's explore how the void you feel may actually be the fertile ground for a quieter kind of strength, one rooted not in perfection, but in presence. Navigating the Vie de Void, a path through emptiness to renewal. For anyone struggling with depression, mental fatigue, or emotional depletion, the Vie de Void, a life shaped by existential emptiness, can feel like a constant, heavy companion. This profound sense of absence, where motivation fades and meaning evaporates, is not a personal failing, but a shared human struggle. Drawing from philosophy, psychology, and the wisdom of renowned experts, let's explore how to transform this void into a catalyst for resilience, and how practical tools like affirmations and journaling can support this journey. 1. The anatomy of the void, when emptiness takes root. The Vie de Void echoes what philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre described as the nothingness at the core of human existence, a realization that life lacks inherent meaning, leaving us adrift in a universe indifferent to our suffering. Psychologically, this aligns with the existential vacuum, a state where individuals feel disconnected from purpose, leading to apathy, despair, and heightened vulnerability to mental health challenges. Medical research confirms the impact. Chronic emotional exhaustion, a hallmark of burnout, shares symptoms with depression, including lethargy, irritability, and detachment. Studies show that prolonged stress depletes cognitive and emotional resources, making even small tasks feel insurmountable. The pain of severe depression is quite unimaginable to those who have not suffered it. It kills because its anguish can no longer be borne. William Styron. The paradox of emptiness, a space for rebirth. While the void can feel like a prison, thinkers like Albert Camus argued that confronting life's absurdity is the first step toward liberation. In the myth of Sisyphus, he writes that acknowledging the void allows us to rebel against it by creating our own meaning. Viktor Frankl, Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, emphasized that even in suffering, humans retain the freedom to choose their response, a concept he called tragic optimism. Neuroscience supports this. Practices like mindfulness and gratitude rewire the brain to focus on purpose. Dr. Joe Dispenza, a leading mindset coach, explains that consciously directing attention away from negative thought patterns can break the cycle of emotional exhaustion. Strategies to begin the shift. Name the void. Acknowledge your emptiness without judgment. As therapist Jordan Pickle notes, feeling your feelings will not lead to depression. Micro connections. Small acts of care, texting a friend, tending to a plant, counteract numbness by reigniting neural pathways tied to reward and belonging. Reframe the narrative. Tony Robbins advocates replacing "I have to" with "I get to," a subtle shift that cultivates agency. 3. Alchemy of resilience. Tools to rebuild. The power of purpose. Frankl's logotherapy posits that finding meaning, even in suffering, is the antidote to existential despair. Start by identifying why statements. Why does my pain matter? What can I create from this emptiness? Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. Albus Dumbledore. J.K. Rowling. Be mind-body synergy. Chronic stress depletes serotonin and dopamine, exacerbating fatigue. Integrate practices endorsed by experts. Breathwork. Dr. Michael Gervais, a sports psychologist, uses tactical breathing to stabilize the nervous system under pressure. Movement. Yoga or walking aligns with Dr. Jim Loehr's energy management principles, restoring physical and mental stamina. C. Collective healing. Isolation deepens the void. Marie Forleo, a mindset coach, emphasizes that vulnerability fosters connection. Your story could be someone else's survival guide. Join support groups or creative communities to share burdens and rediscover hope. The light beyond the void. A new narrative. The journey through the Vie de Void is not about erasing emptiness, but learning to coexist with it. Sartre famously declared that existence precedes essence. We are not defined by our pain, but by the choices we make in spite of it. Research on post-traumatic growth reveals that many who endure profound despair emerge with heightened empathy, creativity, and a renewed commitment to living authentically. As author Elizabeth Wurtzel reflects, I used to think the worst part of me was all of me. Now I know it's just a chapter. A call to action: start small. Write one gratitude note daily, proven to boost dopamine. Seek guidance. Therapists and coaches like Brendan Burchard offer frameworks to rebuild motivation. Embrace imperfection. Progress is non-linear. As Robin Sharma advises, small daily improvements lead to stunning results. Conclusion: the void as a crucible. The Vie de Void is not an endpoint, but a threshold. By leaning into the emptiness, with courage, community, and deliberate action, we reclaim our power to sculpt meaning from the void. The strongest people are not those who show strength in front of the world, but those who fight battles others know nothing about. Jonathan Harnish. Your story is still being written. The void, in the end, is not your enemy. It's the raw material of your rebirth. This is not a substitute for medical advice, but if this brought you peace, let me know below.
This is Zero Noise, a quiet space for tired minds and soft restarts. You're not broken. You're just in between.